everybody. Welcome
Hey,
back.
hey.
We are back, you guys. We are back to do the review to the Nickelodeon doc, Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. Okay. Most of y'all, I'm sure, have already seen the documentary. If you have, that's great. You can keep up with us and all the key points that we are going to get into. Okay. Of course, before we get channel, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Replay gang, hey, y'all. Share us out if you care. Okay. Listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all because we don't want
Hey, no. How you doing?
No.
What's time?
Now, Nani, please let me know when you are going to be on whatever reality show that you're gonna be on, because I know you went on some audition. Okay, I don't know if it was for, I'm not sure what network it was for, but yeah, let me know when you're gonna be.
Yeah, that's new. How you been? It's been a minute.
Let you know, because I for damn sure will be reviewing, okay, whatever show that you're on, period. Okay.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Hey Alec, what's going on, boo boo? This documentary was crazy as hell. I know, like, if you like me, it fucked up your childhood just a little bit. Just a little bit of something. What do you say? It was for Young and Made Bad versus Bougie. Has it already aired? If so, let me know so that way I can watch it and I can review it. Please let me know. Because, yeah, I mean, we got us a little coming up reality star in the channel. I'm going to say get into it. Yeah, okay.
I know, right? Sure.
Overall, Mizzle, how did you feel at the end of watching these episodes? And shout out to Mizzle. Another thing, if you guys are not a part of his Discord, he does a whole bunch of watch-alongs on his Discord. If you are not a part of it, please make sure, like what are you waiting on? Okay, he does a bunch of watch-alongs and then just a bunch of different topics. Of course, anything that you want to talk about, that's what Mizzle's Discord is for. Okay. Overall, at the end of the 4 episodes, because we watched the episodes on Mizzle's Discord as well, this was more your era, okay? I was more of the hey dude, Clarissa explains it all. What is that? You can't do that on television. What were some of the other ones that we went? I came from that era, okay? So I was literally sort of, I guess you could say, graduating or phasing out when it got to the all that era with Keenan and Kel. That's my baby sister's era. So this is a little bit more closer to for your generation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in the that era with all that and I'm in the Barn shows and iCarly. Not really watch iCarly like that because after a while I wasn't really caring for that shows anymore. But I do remember watching all that a lot and the Man the Barn shows and so a lot of Nickelodeon because Nickelodeon Cartoon Network and the Saturday cartoons on Saturdays, that was my thing back then. It's like that. So it is disappointing. It is very disappointing because when you was young at that time, you was entertaining. You didn't know much. I mean, yeah, some people say their parents like realized it was weird. My parents my mom was letting me watching it, so it's like it was not like she was hovering over with shows. It was a cartoon show, Nickelodeon. It's like nobody really cared for it, so it was entertaining. But now when you older, and even though when I was growing up, I didn't really hear much stories about the people. Yes, you hear that the Disney's and Nickelodeon stars, they have trouble past and everything. And, there was trouble and getting in trouble and a lot of things. And then it was realizing what was going on. And then you, as an adult, you watching it back again, and you was like, oh my gosh, I do remember that. And that do look weird. It do was messed up. And the fact that not only what happened on screen, behind the scenes with Dan and the people and what was going on, then I said this made me upset. And it's now they need to do Disney next too, because I feel like it's some skeletons in their closet over there too.
Maybe.
It's sad to see that our childhood is shambles, but at the same time, I'm not too surprised. You know why? Because growing up in the 90s, yes, it was a great era, and I was told this before. It was a great era of music, television, and stuff like that. However, it was a lot of messed up things behind the scenes to get what we get, to have the great artists that we had. It was a lot of drugs, it was a lot of sex, it was a lot of SAs, it was a lot of things and predatory practices going on and scamming people a lot of their monies. And It's like they breaking it back to be the way who we are, that we see, that we love, not knowing the struggles they was going through, and it's promising.
And then you see some of the stars like Amanda Bynes, and it makes sense now why she sort of
Hey,
spiraled
Family
out the way
Ellis.
she did.
Hey.
The same with Brittany. Baby, Brittany got a motherfucking story to tell.
She does. Yes.
Baby, I want to hear Brittany and Amanda Bynes. They both got some stories to tell, and especially Amanda, child, that poor baby. She just
I
out
know.
there. But yeah, you see the for us being, on the outside looking in or whatnot, you see that Nickelodeon. I mean, even when I was younger, I wanted to be one of Clarissa Explains It All's friends.
I remember that show though.
I wanted to be. Listen, I wanted to be on Double Dare, um, especially. And then what was the other one that came on Nickel? Like Tomb Raider or Tomb something? I can't. Legends of the Tomb Raider.
Yes, it was a game. It was the dungeons at this. Yes,
Yes,
that
yes.
was a great thing. I do remember that.
I wanted to be on
Dungeons and Tombs. I did Dungeons and Tombs or something like that. Something like that.
The Legend of Tomb. I wanted
Yes.
I definitely wanted to be. I wanted me and my best friend to be on Double Dare, and then I wanted my family, me, my mom, and my dad, and my little sister, for all of us to be on Family.
Yes, that's what's called Legend of Hidden Temple. That's what it was.
Yes.
That's the name. That was a good show. I know that was
I
good.
wanted to be on that show.
That
Okay, I wanted to be on there because I knew I could win, just like Double Dare. I knew I could win, and I just wanted to be on Double Dare just so I could call somebody Dare, and they'd be like, Double Dare, and I'm like, a bitch, physical challenge.
Well, yes, the game shows was popular out there. I ain't gonna fun. The game shows was
it was on, okay, and it used to look so fun, but you see all of the BS and the madness that came with it, and again, it just makes you sad. It makes you sad. So, a couple of the people that we seen in the documentary, Mark Summers, of course, he was the host of Double Dare. Alexa Nichols. Now, if y'all don't follow Alexa Nichols, she actually has her own YouTube channel, and she's had it for a while, like calling out a lot of these people. Matter of fact, let me see what the name of her podcast is, because I was just watching it earlier. Alexa Nichols, that's the name of her podcast. She's been calling out a lot of these predators and all that's been in Hollywood. She's been doing that for a minute. Matter of fact, right now she's like actively doing boycotting Nickelodeon. She does it like she streams live from it and everything. Raquel Bloom, not too sure who she is. Karen Finley Thomas, she was a writer. Virgil Fabian, he was the director of the Amanda Bynes show. And Karen Finley, again, another writer or whatnot that's from there. So we're not going to break down and go through every single minute little detail. We're just going to kind of hit on some highlights and some of the most important things from it. Okay. So, of course, we already know in the early 90s, Nickelodeon was the show, okay? And the creator of it, Dan Schneider, as we all know. If you don't know, I watched him when he was on Head of the Class. And I remember watching him on Head of the Class. He was the stereotypical fat friend. The fat, ugly friend that was with the hung with the goofy nerd, this, that, and the other. So in a way, it doesn't surprise me that his personality is the way it is. Because, I mean, they even said in the documentary, growing up, his parents basically, I mean, no shade, they thought he was a goddamn loser.
They had no faith in him.
I mean, no shade. Daddy was like, nigga, I just want you to stay out of jail. I don't think you're going to accomplish nothing. You don't look like nobody.
They say you will be nothing, basically. Nothing.
Okay, you ain't got no neck. Hey, Joseph, what's going on?
No neck.
You don't favor nobody. You can't dance. You can't do nothing. So you better have some smarts or something going for you. So from Head of the Class, he directed the show. And then from there, I believe it was Nickelodeon that approached him about the idea for starting this show. Keenan and Kel, writers for it, right? No neck. That's what he got. Ain't nothing, head and shoulders. That's it. No neck. Now, one thing that stood out about Dan, this nasty motherfucker had obsession with feet and with penises and ejaculation shots. Mm-hmm. It's like it was always some sort of innuendo of that on damn near every doggone episode. My mama said she watched Head of the Class only because Robin Gibbons, yes, and Robin Gibbons was that girl, okay?
Yes, she
I know
was.
people be talking crazy about Robin Gibbons, but Robin Gibbons is that girl, okay? Yes, she was. Even
I didn't read her book.
no, but I have that in my queue on Audible because I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to sit down and read it, but I do want to listen to it
Listen to
because
it.
I heard that was damn good. I heard it was good, especially now that we got this tea.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure I want to listen to it now. So, um, let's see. So all that came around in '94, and it was supposed to be like a kids' version of Saturday Night Live, right? Now, Leon Frazier, he was one of the black guys, one of the black kids on there. He was on there from season 4 through 6. Katrina Johnson, she was on there between 10 to 16. And then we have who was the other boy? We'll get to the other boy in a minute. But Katrina Johnson, she was basically like the original that was supposed to be the Amanda Bynes, right?
Amanda Bynes, yeah.
Yeah. She said, and I didn't even remember who she was when I first seen her. Again, it was a little bit after my time, but I don't remember her.
Yeah. It's been so long. It's like a lot of people was like, you don't remember much. It's like unless you really see the standouts, like the people who stand out, we remember was mainly the Manny Bars, the Ken, the Kel, who was the other person?
Giovanni stood out to me.
Yeah, Giovanni. Yeah, some of the people that really stood out that you really noticed and said, "Oh my gosh, yes, I do remember those people." But some other people, no, I didn't remember Katrina that much.
No, I don't remember her.
I see her face. I said, "Okay, I do remember she was there." I don't remember her face like that.
I remember her when she did that Ross Perot skit. That I do remember because I remember her having the accent and having that nose. Make sure you run these lights up on my soul. Appreciate you. Yeah. So she said that basically she was supposed to have, her own little spin-off show or whatnot. Yeah, as time progressed, she started to, puberty started to hit. She started to mature. Network ended up going to her family, talking about your girl getting big. Like, what is we gonna do? Mom and daddy telling her, well, she's an athlete. She's in sports. She does things. Like, what do you expect for me to do? We're not gonna put her on no diet. Well, she said as soon as puberty hit, basically she's looking too mature. She was out of there. Next thing out of there, Amanda Bynes is in, right? Now, what I thought was fucked up that they told her parents that they already got a fat girl on the show.
Oh, yeah, we don't need another one.
Another fat girl. And what was her name? Lori Brett Denberg. Yes. I liked her. She's a comedian. Is she still doing stuff now?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her for a while. But maybe she is.
But she's always played that fat friend role too.
Yeah, she's always a big girl, fat girl.
I like the roles that she plays in, especially when she was on Scary Movie that time. She was trying to get out that little doggy hole, but she was too big and she was trying to fix that doggy hole. My bad, I be smoking a bit of weed and I don't watch movies back in the day and they just stick in my head. So let's get into Leon Frierson. He played a character called Nose Boy. Now, no, did I take a picture of that? If I didn't, y'all have already seen it before, okay? His character was Nose Boy. He said that he would get uncomfortable because they put him in leotards all the time.
Yes.
Which, that's weird to me anyway, to see kids in leotards as it is, especially little boys, leotard, like Superman type shit. I've always thought that. It's just weird to me, and I don't know. That's weird to me to see grown-ass men in tights. Nigga, unless you a ballerina, what is you doing dressing up in tights like that? And are you a wrestler? You want a WWE for the car?
Yes. People mainly will see us but down below and try to see what's going on. Yes, the tights, yes.
So Nose Boy, and I felt like that was a little bit prejudiced too, because they put a big old prosthetic nose on him. Okay.
Yes.
Let's keep it real. You were being prejudiced when you did that, trying to highlight our features. And then on his shoulders, he had two noses. The noses was clear as day meat. You can see it.
Yes, you clearly see it. When you look at it now, I say, "Oh my gosh, it definitely looked like that. It definitely was." And not only that, he was trying to put him that, and also try to put him as a fetus. The charcoal.
That was Brian Hearn. Was it Brian? No, Brian Hearn was the one that they dressed up like little fetus.
Yes, that was Brian. Leon was the Nose Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, he's in a leotard, where he said he was uncomfortable. He's going through puberty, and you got me in this damn leotard where you can see all of that. Like, that's weird. And then another thing that Leon said is when they were doing his the wardrobe from it, he heard somebody in wardrobe say, "Well, we have to make the color charcoal."
Yeah.
Had my mama had Lynette Brown heard some shit like that, Nickelodeon would have been shut down. It would have been police caution tape all around that motherfucker. Little Fetus was a messed up skit. Like, what the hell? The young
Little Fetus, like, what we trying to do with Little Fetus? I said Little Fetus of what? This mindset that people had back then is like ridiculous.
Not only that, kids of that age, I'm speaking for me. At my age, I didn't know what the frick a fetus was. Like, I didn't know.
You didn't know that.
You just knew somebody was, if you had a baby, you was pregnant. You didn't know that a baby in a womb is called a fetus, or at least I didn't know that when I was their age, in that bracket. So why?
Yeah.
And the nose
is I was like, it was just crazy.
And then Nose Boy, what is his? I don't know if it was a superpower.
Whatever. His kryptonite. His kryptonite was something, and then he had to snoot out.
He would sneeze, and when he sneezed, it was essentially a cum shot that went on this girl's face. Now, I believe now we already know Dan has since did an interview, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I believe when Dan said you got people on top of people on top of people that approve this before it actually hits the air. So a lot of this shit, I don't blame it on Dan, because he had people behind him that actually rolled for him. Otherwise, why were you known as the Nickelodeon Golden Boy for this long? You had people riding with you. I'm sorry, but you didn't.
I get it. Yes. And yeah, he did say it's a hierarchy of approval, so like that. But my thing with this is that, yes, it was that, but they portrayed it as he was this powerful person that all stops with him. That's what it made it seem. So everything stops with him. And people who realized stuff was messed up to do, they was afraid to say anything because they would get ridiculed for it. So even though if they did was right, they had to write what he wants, and then it was going to write what he wanted anyway because he was making them hits. So after the day, did that really prove anything? It really didn't prove anything because you was making them network money, and it's gonna let you go on with it. And then you saying nobody is speaking up, but I say people have been speaking up. But you create an environment that they're afraid to speak up. So you saying that's what got me annoyed, because when they kept that disclaimer, well, people proved this, and I ain't the only one. People approved this, people proved that. I said, but yet people who objected, you turned them down and you went ridiculed them for rejecting what you were putting out. So how much of control they had? You had the power.
And you had the power. At one part of the docuseries, he was doing a red carpet, and he even says that his cast. I like it when they get upset with me because I have the power to write a script, and I can write them in any awkward situation that I want to put them in. He said that on the red carpet in the part of the docuseries. So yeah, he knew what he was doing, and like I said, he had folks like the cum shot and the nose boy and shit. You have people, you're the writer, but at the end of the day, you have to go through certain approvals to get that put on air. So he had people that had his back. I'm just saying, Dan don't need to be the only fallout boy for what he's doing. He don't need to be the only fallout boy. So Brian Hearn, shout out to his mama, okay? His mama was it Brian Hearn or was it Leon Fred? Either one of them, though. I think it was Brian Hearn.
Brian Hearn's mother.
Shout out to his mama, because Mama peeped something wasn't right from the beginning. Her name is Tracy Brown. She actually has a YouTube channel as well. She does like tarot card readings and stuff. Y'all should go check her out. But she knew some shit wasn't right, and she peeped some shit wasn't right. And Giovanni, Leon, and Brian all said that they were treated a little bit different than everybody else. They noticed that not that they were done wrong, but they were not favorites of Dan, like Amanda was, and certain other people were fans of them. Now, side note, was it me or was Giovanni having a little bit of a key, just a little bit of a key, watching all this shit go down? Because as she's reading her little yearbook that she has, like Brian signed a yearbook and signed it, and she's reading and she's like, oh.
Yeah,
She was having a low key, like, you niggas wanted to do a nigga like a nigga, huh?
Yes. Yeah, it's like going back and reminiscing everything that she was going through. And even then, and I say yes, at the end of the day, yes, even though, like I said, 90s was a great era, but also it was great. Still, we was getting through a lot of laws and stuff like that of government about our kinds, and it was not still, even though we was making good family, but we still had the equality that we still want, and it's still in that progress and that. But at that time, it was progressing to get it better. But the 90s still was some era. So, with music and era and TV, yes, you will still get treated, even though you probably was talented, as less than as our black kids like that will get treated less than and everything. So yes, you could feel it and everything. And then how misogynistic and how things was back then. Yes, racism plays along well, colorism, whatever, misogynistic things. It was feminism. A lot of that stuff was playing heavy in these scenarios. So it was forefront. And then when you have a force that nobody can say nothing to you, when you're all this powerful, yes, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Like no. She was having a good low key. If y'all didn't see it, just go back and watch some parts with Giovanni, because she was low key gagging, and I was gagging with her. Okay.
Yes.
And so, wasn't she in what's the name of that cheerleading movie that Solange was in?
Yeah, she was. She
was in there, right?
She was one of the. She was one of the. Yes, she was.
Okay, yeah, she played in that movie as well. So when Amanda Bynes came in, like I said, she basically was like the favorite. I blame Amanda's daddy and I blame Amanda's mama. Okay, the mama got conservatorship over her. We'll find that out later. But the daddy was too damn close with Dan. I believe that maybe the daddy was probably he was working side by side. In my opinion, I believe wholeheartedly he was working side by side with Dan to do whatever he needed to do and whatever Dan wanted to do to keep his daughter as the number one, keep that money coming in and all of that other bullshit. Yeah, Giovanni was that's what it was. Bring it on too. That's what it was. Okay. Yes, I remember that child. She was so like I said, she comes, she gets real close with Dan, and all the other cast members can see right away that, you know what I'm saying, she's a favorite. Now, another thing, she played a character, Penelope Taint.
Penelope Taint. My name is Penelope Taint. I remember I used to get annoyed when she keeps saying it. Penelope Taint. I said, girl, we know it.
I remember my sister watching that, and I just remember her all the time. I'm Penelope Taint. Penelope Taint will come to find out.
That girl, calm down.
Dan knew everything that they were doing was basically like a gimme gotcha in your face. Like, aha, we got away with this shit right in your face. Penelope Taint is gooch. That's a Gucci. Really? And the writers in the room knew that, but they say nothing. Of course, they couldn't say nothing, especially the two females. Child, hold on. Let's get into these two females real quick. Two females writers. What was their name? Christy Stratton and
Christy and Karen. No, Jenny and Christy. Jenny and Christy.
Jenny Kilgan and Christy Stratton. Okay. Now they both started on the Amanda Bynes or the Amanda show, right? They first and foremost, I'm sorry, but there's no way I would have agreed off top to share a salary with another person. I'm sorry. I would not have done that. I don't give a damn. I would not have done that. And quite honestly, when you when you agree to certain shit that you know ain't right, you set yourself up for motherfuckers to take advantage of you, and you set the tone for how people can treat you. They already said after they both got hired, Dan gonna come to them and say, "Well, do you mind if I refer to y'all as the girls?"
The
Like,
girls.
oh,
Like
I hate when you do that.
the girls.
That should have been red flag number two. First of all, you're sharing a salary. Then he's calling y'all the girls. Hello, he don't respect y'all. He don't give a damn about y'all.
For real.
That part.
Exactly. And yes, and it's like, even though the split in salary is something I heard before, so it's not like it was an uncommon practice. But at the same time, that's not something that you hear as often. But I have, like, it was when I was in college, it was a position open for a director position of diversity. And it was two people that interviewed for the position, and we both liked the person, and then they hired both of them. But they did tell them they was going to split the salary. But one of them, he decided he not doing it because he said, "Listen, I got too many more experience than this lady and everything for me to split in salary." So he decided not to do it. But the other, they gave it to the other one. She stayed and she took it. So it was like, I've seen this happen before. But yes, it's not uncommon. But yes, I wouldn't be sharing no salary either. It's like, even though I imagine if you had no experience and you want to get into the thing, if you wanted so bad want to get in, that's fine. But yes, you set yourself with what you take.
If you think about, okay, what if it was $100,000 for the year? You getting $50K. If you were working somewhere by yourself, you could at least be getting $57K for the year. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you even?
When you accept certain things, then you are accepting.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It is what it is. And he was a sexist, misogynist, bullshit, bastard, nasty ass boss to them. With embarrassing themselves, send them messages of crazy shit, making them yell it out across the room. Now, Christy, well, it wasn't even Christy that told the story. Jenny, I know if I was Christy, I'd be like, bitch, I didn't want you to put my tea out there like that. But I get why she did that. Jenny was telling the story about how Christy was, they were in the writer's room or whatever. When you say, Amanda played Penelope Tank character, well, why did it take me so long time to figure out Amanda playing somebody else? That part. And super racist. That part, Brit. So Jenny tells Christy's tea about how they were in the writer's room. And Christy is telling a story about something that happened from high school. Dan cuts her off and was like, you know what would be funny? If you're telling this story and pretend like you're being, like you're getting cakes, like you're getting cakes pat. And she didn't want to do it. She was hesitant to do it, but she did it anyway. Now, girl, again, why would you do that shit? I'm not blaming nobody at all. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is you have a voice.
Yes. And that is true. Yes. And they have a voice, but at that time, like you said, everybody was scared of him. People were scared of her.
You could have gone to somewhere else. I'm sorry.
You could have went somewhere else. Yeah, exactly. You could have went somewhere else. But I guess she felt like this was the hottest thing to work at right now, and she wanted to deal with it until it's too late to deal with it. And she got let go. But
no, I thought it was Tate too until I started listening to it more, and I realized she was saying taint. But it wasn't until some time later that I found out that, because I knew it as a gooch, and we used to call it Gucci.
Yes,
Gucci. That's what I thought, but I didn't know that Gucci was taint until later on. I was like, oh, that's what they call that. And then watching this, that's when I put 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 together. Like, oh, this nigga was talking about a Gucci cooch. I split a salary with a roach before I split it with another person. Run me my pesos on my soul. I'm not going to sit up here and split no salary with nobody. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I understand that back then, they're trying to get their feet, their foot in the door to bigger and better opportunities. But I mean, in the end, ultimately, they end up losing any damn way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he let one of the girls go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chrissy didn't really want to tell a story. Jenny told a story, and the producers was like, "So Chrissy, tell us a story about Jenny was telling us about this time that Dan had to do something." Chrissy was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I'm sorry. I'd have hit up Jenny, be like, "Bitch, who told you to tell my TV like that?" It was really embarrassing for her. Also, they said it already difficult for them because at that time
it was difficult for women. Yeah, definitely for the workforce.
I get that.
There was a lot of stuff in the 90s it still was working on.
I'm just thinking in mentality. I ain't never took shit from nobody, which is probably why I probably ain't had so many certain opportunities because I'm not gonna take no shit from no goddamn body.
Exactly.
That's just me though. Oh well. Another thing Dan did, Dan demanded. He was demanding massages on the set. He would have the women that's working in wardrobe come and massage him down and all that.
Yes, taking from my freaking job to massage your head. Boy, you better hire a masseuse, child. And doing all that. I was like, this was ridiculous. It's like, and this was y'all was allowing, and this was just going on here. Just let him do it. And I said, is he this powerful? That's why I don't really. It's not. I having a hard time when he's saying, well, if people had a problem, then they could have said something, and they could have went up, and they could have went. I said, well, at the end of the day, it seemed like all stops buck with you. You had the most power decision, so people ain't gonna say no to you. And if they did say no, you had a problem because with the two ladies, females, one of them started speaking up and put them in blast and got fired. And the other one went to see about the salary because they hold on, are we supposed to be splitting salaries? And realized the union told us, say, no, you ain't supposed to be doing that like that. You supposed to have your little money. And then guy realized they went back to told him. And then he called her and said, oh, did you call the union and say about something like that? Because if we find out, I'm gonna come at you, like threatening her and everything.
When it came to Christy, did they have some sort of contract that stated verbatim that you are to work for me 24/7, or was because I'm sure they were part of a union, a writers union, or something? How could Christy get fired for going out on a weekend to a concert and then having friends over her house? Like, I'm not saying Christy wasn't weak. I'm just saying, like, she don't seem like Jenny seemed like she had a whole lot more fight in her than Christy did. Christy just kind of seemed like she was just rolling over, just going with whatever, just to be a part, like a little piece of a job than no job. So she was just okay with whatever. How dare you fire me when I'm not on the clock working for you? I would have thought right there, baby, that's a suit. That's a discrimination suit right there. That's a labor lawsuit right there. Like what ain't why that flow did, I'm sorry, the flow did not go to the top ceiling with Christy. It did not.
And then she went back to temp agency. I said, oh, I'm not going back to no temp agency.
And she go right
yeah, and just let it be. I say you just gonna let it go, happen like that. Let me roll. I do understand at that time it was probably hard, but at the same time, you just could afford a little bit.
She didn't at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, you didn't at least pinch the bitch? Like, she ain't did nothing. She ain't trying to fight back and do nothing. And so for Jenny there, like you said, like basically Dan found out and dropped a dime on her, that she dropped a dime on his ass, and now he got to pay this bitch what she worth. But then he still got a gimme gotcha on her ass when it come to working for season 2 on Amanda show. He's telling her, okay, we gonna do your contract. You gonna work for 60 something weeks. We gonna pay you for 20. The other 11 you gonna work for free.
Well, wait, I said, oh no, no man, no the cheese. We ain't having that.
No ham, no spam. I do not like green eggs and ham. No.
We ain't doing that. We ain't working for 11 weeks for free.
And then, like Jenny say, she lasted all of about 4 days. When Dan was final straw, Dan tried to call her out. And I'm proud of Jenny. And then afterwards, she went and filed the suit on his ass. Good for you, Jenny. Mm-hmm. Good for you, Jenny.
She got the settlement and everything, but it was still embarrassing.
Embarrassing. And then another thing, if I was Christy, I'd have got on Dan's ass like, hold on, first, you were supposed to have paid me from a dare a long time ago when I ate this goddamn ice cream for $300 in 30 minutes.
Money. Yeah.
I thought that nigga in, nigga, where's my 3 ducats though?
Yeah.
On my kids.
Ice cream, get $300. Ate the ice cream and they get the money. He said, oh, I ain't promised you that. And I say, and when you called him out on it, that's when she got. That's when he got upset, and that's
Yeah.
when she went to that thing. He fired her because she went
Yeah.
to the thing.
Joseph say, I was like, Dan, after all the money you done made, you couldn't hire a personal masseuse on set.
Exactly.
Basically wanted to put his nuts on the table and said, who gonna check me? That's exactly what he did. That's why he hired no masseuse, because he wanted to throw his little old weight around. Like I said, he was a loser all his life. He finally got an opportunity to be a big dog. This was his way of being a big dog. To hell with him. He would need hell to freeze over before I would work 11 for free. Baby, my last name ain't Kunta or Kente. I wish I would. I don't even do nothing at my job now unless I'm on the clock, okay? And as soon as I'm off the clock and they ask me,
wow.
they already know. I tell them just like that, oh, I done already clocked down. I would like to help you with that.
Yes, I'm out. You should have called me before I clocked.
3:05 in the morning, bye. I am not my ancestors, baby. Hell no. Raquel. Now, Raquel is another. I don't really remember Raquel either. Raquel was another black girl that was on there. She was another one that said she really didn't get a whole lot of attention. I mean, you know, she was not one of the favorite ones that was on there. She said for her 13th birthday, the crew had bought her a cake, and Dan got pissed off that she got a cake. I really didn't understand. Was he upset that she got a cake and she got attention, or was he upset that he thinks she was gonna get fat? Like, why would you be mad because the girl got a cake?
I said, what grown man is upset that a kid get a birthday cake? I said, you gotta go to a corner and sit down and play with yourself or someone and get our faces with this. Like, what is, I still understand, like, what is going on with this guy with this power tripping? And everybody just sitting here saying, oh my gosh.
Mind you, Jenny, she won the discrimination lawsuit, but nothing changed. This nigga was still doing what he do.
Nothing changed. Her career was impacted because of it, but she still got her sentiment, but nothing really changed in the workplace because you would think they say, oh, we dish out this money because, you know, corporations, when they dish out money for settlements and lawsuits, they must for you. And they ain't do none of that.
Now let's get into MJ, Brandy's mama. Listen, if you don't like cursing, I'm already 37 minutes in. YouTube can have me to have a couple curse words because I'm finna cuss this bitch out, okay? This heifer, Brandy. Now, is Brandy still with us? Because she wasn't in the documentary, only the mama. And then it wasn't even Brandy's last name. It was just Brandy.
They just said Brandy, and I don't know. When she was talking like in the past tense. Like it was something like
right. That's
and I said, I don't know, her daughter's still alive. I said,
I thought sometimes like she on the glory, but then she just not on. No, I don't know. But anyways, she started off at 11 years old. She was an extra on the Amanda show, right? Not too long after that. What was his name? He was like basically like not an extra, like the person that works with the kids on the set.
He was a production assistant. He was going back and forth with the kids because the pair was not allowed on the set at the time. That's what they was telling us.
He was watching the kids because the parents weren't allowed on there. His name is Jason Handy. Now, first and foremost, off the rip, when this damn mama said that not only did she herself exchange emails with Jason, but the daughter exchanged emails with him as well. First and foremost, why would your 11-year-old child be exchanging emails with a grown-ass person? That's number one. On your ass, mama. I'm sorry. That's on your ass.
Yeah. And then when she was telling us, like, when she first emailing, because she was like, oh, yeah, can we, because I guess you're supposed to help her out or something like that. He said, go change contact information. He said, okay, fine. And then she said when she read the email, when the daughter, because the daughter showed the mom the email that Jason sent her, and she looked at it, she said, oh, I didn't think it was any harm. I said, first of all, why he was emailing you, even the daughter, and not you? First of all, my mom ain't playing that. There ain't no grown person gonna be emailing me without she even reading it herself and looking at it.
I wish a motherfucker would. Grown ass motherfucker would be emailing my 11-year-old damn child. Are you out your damn mind? That's mama. I'm sorry, mama. That's on you. Okay. And again, She looked at it and she didn't see anything wrong with it in the beginning. Brandy probably gone with her own thriving business nowadays.
I'm good. I'm good with everybody. She better say I ain't.
Nah, I'm good. God damn it. I ain't mad at her. Brandy don't want none of this.
And you think it was nothing wrong with that, Mama? Like, you think it was nothing wrong with that?
Emailing, and it was, I didn't see anything wrong with it. But
he kept emailing.
When he's continuing to send emails, and then finally he sends a picture of himself pleasuring himself to your daughter and says, this is what happens when I think of you. And your ass didn't go to the police.
Nope. And I was like,
bitch, go to hell.
I was like, that was getting me agitated. I said, so you did not call the police
out of fear of what people would think.
Yes. You was hesitating to call the police because you feel what people would think that you will be a bad person. I said, F out of here. He is the wrong one. F that. Yes, you didn't say you let your daughter email him. But when he sent that, you should have had justice for your daughter. And the fact that you was worried about people's perception of you, people to this day still think about other people's perception than their own. And you let it happen. You just let it be. Oh, I would keep my daughter away from him. You think that was going to help? You think that helped?
So instead of you calling the police, you just pull your daughter from that, so she's not on there no more. It took for a couple of years later, 2003, for a detective to hit your ass up because they done already got complaints on this nigga and then did a raid at his house, find a Ziploc bag full of letters from your daughter. It took for the po-po to get involved for you to then say something. Child, go to damn hell. It would have been whoop that trick. Okay, whoop that trick. Get him, whoop that.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop, for real. And I was like, it had took for them to just like that. And then when they questioning you and everything, it's this lady. It was some parents didn't. It was some they say like that. Some parents didn't want to say nothing and everything. And I think some parents didn't want to talk about it because it was too much from them. And only like one or two girls probably spoke up. Two people probably spoke up about it. I was like, so y'all really that's what's happening.
Jenny was saying why some of the, I know Chrissy said that's why some of the old writers on there, they're not saying anything because they're afraid and they're afraid this, that, and the other. No, hell no. Again, I don't know if I got this nuck if you buck spirit in me, but there's no way that I would have sat back and been quiet about some shit like that, especially when it comes to your child. Girl, mama, go to hell. That's on you. I'm sorry. And then they also find a journal of Jason's in his house of him basically manifesting doing peodious acts because he's like, I feel like sooner or later, if I can't help this urge, I'm going to have to find somebody to assault, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Mama, what if it would have been your child? The mama need her ass whooped. I'm sorry, the mama need her goddamn ass whooped, okay? So, let's see. What sort of Amanda Bynes I wouldn't say, well, I guess you could say she sort of aged out of Nickelodeon. That's when she went to the WB. She was working on her own little show with the WB.
Yeah, she wanted to be older and do more adult things. And that's what she wanted to focus more on her development and not too much of staying under Dan's thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted to be older. She wanted to have her own thing, wanted to have her own mindset, but her parents was interfering with that.
Too. And then when they got to the WB, basically Dan was trying to have more control over her. That wasn't Nickelodeon, boo-boo. You at Warner Brothers now. We got our own shit going on here. He's basically trying to take over some writing and some shit like that to where they were like, Dan, you got to go, bruh. Like, we good over here. So he ends up taking his ass back on over there to Nickelodeon. But, like you say, her parents were all up in the middle of stuff. So lo and behold, here go Dan. He wants to try to help her get emancipated. And I'm sorry.
She ran from home. She ran from home and went to him and trying to get him to help her to get emancipated. And I first of all, that emancipation when the kids want to get emancipated from the parents, I was like, I don't really hear that much from our community say you want to emancipate. For who? Emancipate what? You better emancipate this man. You can get emancipated. You gonna be emancipated in the corner. That's what you
okay,
gonna do.
I'm gonna emancipate my ass back to my black ass back to the room, bitch. Emancipate these nuts.
Well, and yes, the reason why he only got that little amount of time is because a lot of people was speaking up. After they found evidence on that Jason guy, a lot of people refused to speak. And because they want to corroborate the story, the evidence they found, he got less sentencing. If people
and some of them parents were probably in the wrong too, and they said that. God damn it. So like I said, and once that whole situation happened with Dan trying to help Amanda get emancipated, basically their sort of relationship kind of a little bit parted ways from there. That's when Amanda was, you know what I'm saying, she grown, she trying to do her own thing, whatnot. And I think she started to really see that Dan is like no good. Or at least I'm hoping that she, at that point, she started to kind of see like, wait a minute, hold on now.
We spent so much time together and nobody was realizing. They be missing for long periods of time and nobody was looking at. I said, why nobody really could see that Amanda is away with Dan for this long time? Yeah. If he didn't do any predatory stuff, he still was a grown man preying on his girl and so on a path. Oh no.
So yeah, and so like everything basically happened with Amanda. He went from there, he went and basically he revamped all that. He went back to Nickelodeon, and it wasn't the same sort of cast with that. That's when
he got a whole new cast. That's when Ken and Kel came in, and the Lori, somebody else came in. It was other new people start coming in with Sam. No, not Sam. Cal. That's we had the other people, Giovanni. A lot. All the people started coming in from all that. That was not original there.
And also, she said on Twitter a long time ago that he got her pregnant at 13 and she went to the clinic. I seen that. You know, since this has come out, everybody is pulling all of her tweets because she had a private Twitter account back in the day that she was trying to hide from her parents. And that's when she was out there basically putting little hints of stuff out there. Yeah, I had heard that.
That's what I'm saying. You better go smash your face in the womb.
On my soul, we can knock the hell out. So let's get into, let's see.
Yeah, they did talk about revamping the all that and stuff like that. And you know, that's what we got more of Giovanni, Cal, and Brian. I do have to say, Brian and Cal, they grew up a little bit handsome little men. I was like, oh, okay. It was handsome. I was like, but then they were saying there's the functional stuff they were having them doing, like drinking a lot. I was like, now thinking about it, I said, why they was eating so much sugar in their coffee like that? Anyway,
because that's
the fear factor. Yes,
they try to talk with that sugar. You see the sugar, it basically starts looking like duck water.
It is gooey, and then the fear factor. And I do remember the fear factor. I said, first of all, I watched Fear Factor back in the day. I used to love Fear Factor, but I was like, I know if I ever would do Fear Factor, I would never do some kind of thing. I would have to get sent home. I'm not eating no freaking incense. Why are you putting all these snakes and stuff on me and all the extra stuff? It was too much. And then they started putting that the Nickelodeon Kids Fear Factor, and then some stuff was okay, but then you saw the scorpion in the mouth,
the peanut butter
with the dog licking. Hey, y'all found Michael Kors.
And Brian Hearn said, hey, y'all, they found Michael Kors bucket purse. Send us a picture of it so I can see what it looked like. I love it. A little cute and nasty bucket purse, girl. Brian Hearn, he had said, and when he actually was doing that there with the peanut butter on him, he was even saying, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. What in your nasty ass mind would make you think that it would be okay to drench a child in peanut butter and have a dog lick it off of him? Listen, this remind me of this stuff. Did I ever tell y'all about that coworker with the dog and the peanut butter?
No.
I'm gonna have to say that for a Patreon or something.
Yes, because he was saying it was one thing that had the peanut butter. He was okay with the peanut butter, but then you gonna have dogs licking out of him afterwards. Like, really?
That's some white folk shit. Let me just
I was
say,
like, oh no.
yeah, maybe on the Discord. I'll go on Discord and I'll tell y'all because I'm always scared to tell this story about this coworker because I don't know if I hate for her to see this or I'd hate for. You remember the story, Britt? Yeah. I said, you remember I told you I'm always scared to tell this story because I don't ever want her to see it and be like, Monique, you fucking bitch, you. Like, I don't want her to sue me.
Yes, it was.
But child, they treated those black kids awful back in the day. Yeah, like the kid fear factor and all that. So just finishing up with old goddamn nasty ass Jason, that nigga ended up going to jail, but for only 6 years. That's some bullshit. That's
saying much
bullshit. And that's what I didn't understand. Why did he get 6 years for attempted shit? Brian Peck did the shit and got 16 months. Girl, go to hell. Let's get into Drake, okay? Now Drake, he was on him and Josh. They ended up getting their spinoff and on the Amanda show. They were doing like this little, they were fighting over something, and basically they were already looking to do like a buddy comedy show. And once they seen Drake and Josh, it just sort of took off from there. So when he came out, Dan swears up and down he didn't hire was it Brian Peck? But again, something just came out. What was it yesterday? Last night I was looking at something. They actually proved that Dan did hire Brian Peck.
Okay, so it's like
after you said a lot of stuff he didn't. He actually. I bet that Peanut name had to have been humiliating, but low key, I would have took that over to the tub of worms and a scorpion eating. I wouldn't have did none of that shit. They just sent my black ass home. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that shit.
Oh yeah, I think because you know with the blind parent, like blind parents like that, his mom was also a vocal one. And my mom was very vocal, and I was like, that's why I was like, when you were saying about parents, that what people say, oh, hey Chelsea, how you doing? When you say about parents on the set, you say, if nobody comes to me and express their displeasure, I said, well, you lie because it was parents that did spoke up. And then they was ostracized, and the poor Brian, he was fired because she kept talking so much and because she wanted to protect her son. And because of that, it did fracture the relationship with her mom for a while. And they're good now, because I was always wondering what happened, because I was like, oh my God, it was sad. Like she was choked up to Brian, like he kind of blamed his mom because he lost his dream. But your mom was protecting you.
Your mom.
And I was just hopefully that they made it back with each other. And I'm glad they did, because I was so hurt by that. Because I said no, because I know it's a thin line. Like you don't want to mess up your kid's dream. Right. But you want to protect their innocence. And that's what she was doing. But because of the environment it was in, they was being ruthless.
It's like you don't ever want to have to wait for your child to get older to understand why you did the shit that you did. I got an 11-year-old and I got discipline and different shit like that now. He don't understand it, but it sucks. I have to wait for him to get older and shit that could have happened for him to be like, okay, now I understand what my mom. You know what I mean? Like we've all been through that. Our parents have done something and we pissed off at that time because we don't understand it. And then we get older and we see, okay, my mom was protecting me, or my mother did this for me. So yeah, I feel bad for him for that. And I wonder, has either one of them acted in anything else? I don't know.
I don't remember. Maybe he has, but I don't remember. And then also, they also had another person who was protecting the kids, Virgil, who was like a production. He was like a co-director like that, and they would let him go. So it's like anybody who's supposed to be up for the kids, they was letting them go. And that's why I say, Dan, you is full of it. We're talking about that you had no control about a lot of things and things like that. You was the buck stopped with you, so you controlled a lot of stuff in that area. So you need to stop playing and realize that yes, you create this environment.
Yeah. So now let's get into Drake. Okay, like we said, Drake, he
Hmm.
everything started off fine with him. Brian Peck was an acting or dialogue coach. Now, shout out to Drake's daddy. Drake daddy was very vocal. He was physically there. He had it going on. He was all the security and the peace of mind, the person with the, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. He had it together. He knew what was up. He knew to watch out for my child. He could see the bullshit coming from a mile away. Brian Peck was trying to get in there, and he did ultimately mess up that relationship because the daddy could see off top why he hugging him like that.
Mm-hmm. Why you
They
touching
didn't
my son
need
like
you put on his goddamn socks. Is put one foot in and put the other one in. What you
touching up everything? And then when he says something, and they go and say, "Oh well, no, he's gay. It's no, you don't know nothing about him. Why you just let it be? He's gay. He ain't doing that." I said, first of all, I don't care if he's gay, straight, up, down, left, or right, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, blue, red, yellow. You don't touching my son in no certain way and think I'm not gonna say nothing because you want to confuse because he's gay. First of all, that's even worse if you gonna say
That's
that.
wrong.
I would say he's a man.
Production and tell them like I don't. He kind of moving kind of funny around him, and for the production, you
Yeah.
like us to be like, oh, you homophobic. He
Yeah,
gay.
he's homophobic. I said, "Oh, get out my face." Oh, I'm homophobic. Like this hands will be straightfolded.
Okay,
Like
these hands are equal opportunity. Okay, they bisexual. They can all get it. These hands here are bisexual. Okay,
I'm not a fighter, but don't tell me that when they touch any of my nephews the wrong way, my niece like that. Oh, something gonna happen. Nah.
but yeah, Santa Maria, Elvis, shout out. Okay, to Drake's girlfriend's mama. His own mama ain't shit. Let's get into that bitch real quick. Now, when Brian came in and basically drove a wedge between his father and him, because Brian lied to Drake that daddy was stealing the money just to get in there, break up that little relationship. He basically listening to Brian. Drake wants the mother to be his manager and shit now. He hands everything on over to the mother. And he specifically told that wench, whatever you do not leave Drake alone with Brian. Do not let him get his hands on Brian. What this bitch do? She don't feel like driving. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you come pick up my child and he can spend the night and he can do whatever. First of all, bitch,
No.
what is your job? Your son is paying the bills. What are you doing where you can't get off your ass and drive him? Really, mama? You ain't shit. Go to hell.
Oh yes, Brian was throwing parties. He was pen pal with John Wayne Gacy, and I said, "Oh, pen pals with him." And they didn't say that was a red flag. I said, "Child." And then yes, when the father, I said, first of all, I would say one thing with the separation. I said, yeah, one through predators don't like when people clocking them and they try and separate you for the kids because they don't like that. And I was like, and I was telling you backstage, I said, my mom and I was close. I ain't gonna let nobody go tell me separate from me and my mom and tell me that my mom doing something crazy unless I know myself that this is true. And I deal with that. So I maybe he was teenager, something like that, because they said around the time he was teenager. I said at some point, did you really believe that your father would do that to you? Especially who was there for you. Now I understand he was a young and he was a child actor and he was blinded by the money and everything. But your father was the manager. He wanted to protect you. Oh, he was another one that I was like almost choking up. I was like, oh my God, I hope Drake and his father make amends like Brian and his mom did. Because I said these parents were 2-1 vocals one. It was right. And it just kind of fractured the relationship with the parent and the childhood. Because I would say, Drake, do you really believe your father would do that to you? And then made that decision, and everybody was in your head, and the mom, that new good mom, because she didn't like the dad, all in your head, and make that decision for. I was like, come on.
Your mama
and that
was
hard because that father was choking up. He said, and he said, if that's what my son want, he couldn't really fight no much. And I said, oh my God.
Oh, that would have broke my heart. Oh, yeah, that kind of gave me
bad. And then he told you one thing. I don't care you don't like me, but one thing, to not let him get your hands on our son, and you did that because you didn't feel like driving. If I was Chad, if any person, if I ever wanted to hit a woman,
what's your job to where your ass couldn't get up and drive him? Or not only that, because your son is making money, how about you fucking move to where they're filming at in Orange County or wherever the hell? That way you don't have to worry about the 45-minute drive. Mama, kiss my ass. That is on you. You set that boy up to be in that predicament, in that environment like that. So,
Yep.
like Drake say, and yeah, this motherfucker Brian was known for throwing parties at the house or whatnot. He had Drake had a party at his house when he was 15, his 15th birthday, and he convinced his mother, Drake's mother, to have the party there because it was already closer to where they're filming. All of his friends that he films with are going to be there anyway. Again, mama, you were complicit in all of this, and it's your goddamn fault that what happened to Drake, it's all the mama's fault. I don't give a damn what nobody say. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. I feel like my opinion is it's the mother's fault.
It is her fault.
But
It is her fault. It is her fault.
It's
100% her fault.
So he, like, you know, Drake said he was laying on the couch and then he woke up and this fool was, from what he described it, I think Brian was down there pleasing him, and it shocked the hell out of him. And I felt bad for Drake in that incident because I had a situation when I was younger. I was not R-worded, but I was fondled by a family member. And when Drake said, what was I going to, in that moment, I couldn't call my mama and tell my mama come pick me up. I'm going to wait for you here. And I'm over here at a family member house. And, you know, I don't even want to say no specifics. I suppose I don't know who it is. But I'm over here at a family member house. And I don't want this person tripping or what. Like, I can't call my mom in the middle of the night. Thank God. The next day I was going home anyway. And as soon as my mama came to pick me up, I told her exactly what happened. And my stepdaddy went over there and was about to break motherfucking jaws. But I felt Drake in that moment. Like, what was I supposed to do? Call my mom and tell my mom to come pick me up? The bitch already didn't want to come and drive to drop me off to work. Why the hell was she coming in the middle of the night to come pick me up? You know what I'm saying? And so he never.
I would have called the father. I would have had to call my father. I said your father was not the option at that time, so you just completely wash your hands with your father at that time.
Oh yeah, we already talked about that down here. Yeah, we talked about it a long time ago.
I said I would have to call the father, even though it was strange right now. I know the father didn't push, but at the same time, I would have to call them. You had two parents for a reason, and even though it was rocky at the time, your mother put you in a situation.
Yeah.
So the other person I would have called my father. I said, "Dad, come get me because something's going on right here. Like I'm not comfortable. What's going on?" The father would have
been there in a heartbeat. I know for a fact that daddy would have robbed Peter to pay Paul to knock the shit out of Jeffrey and them to get to his child.
Right. And I would have cursed that amount of hours out the father. Child, anything you want to put. If I don't condone violence, but anything, if I would have back that monster to the next week, to the next millennium, child, we have done that because she did.
Would have goddamn deserved it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. So again, shout out to the girlfriend because the girlfriend's mama. Shout out to the girlfriend's mama because Brian calling, blowing up the phone to go to Disneyland, and the girlfriend's mama seen something was wrong. And the girlfriend's mama had to call his punk ass mama and was like, look here, I was going on. I'm letting you know I'm taking Drake to see our therapist tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Ass whoop still.
It took someone else to realize that ain't no grown man gonna be calling the house constantly. 47-year-old man calling a 15-year-old boy constantly in his phone at the house. And then if I wasn't picking up, if he wasn't picking up, do you call him my house constantly like that? So the father said, hold on, come to the room real quick. Tell me something. He said, no, everything else. I ain't after that. Tell me what's going on. Oh, it's because in a way he should be calling you that much. We're gonna see a therapist. Just that quick. Don't even ask him no thoughts. No, we're gonna see a therapist. Nah.
Went and got a job with Disney for a short time. He was in the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody as
that's the problem I had. That's the problem I had. When we get to that point when we talk about his sentences, I had a problem with that too. Because I don't understand that.
She should. Stupid ass mama. So And even when Drake went to the therapist, he didn't even say nothing off the rip then, because again, Brian had his ass so brainwashed and afraid again that he would lose his career. He controlled everything over him, so he didn't say anything. So I'm glad that Drake finally got to his breaking point once he seen Brian was going to Dan, his homeboy, so he could be the dad on the next season of all that. He was like, hell no. And I'm glad Drake finally reached his breaking point.
Manipulation. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the trial, when was that? Brian ended up going to trial in October of 2004. He had 41 letters of support. 41 letters of support. Some of the people, Will Friedle and Ryder Strong, both from Boy Meets World. Now, I was a little disappointed in Ryder. Like, nigga, Ryder, I rode for you. Really?
Yeah, I ain't ride for nobody, because you never know what they thinking. When somebody is, you just gotta sit back. They would
Joanna Turner from Growing Pain. Now, another one, Alan Thicke, Robin Thicke's daddy. Get the hell on up out of here. Kimmy Roberts says that she believes that maybe Brian was pressured and he just got to a point to where he couldn't take it anymore and he was at his breaking point.
Yeah, when I saw that, I said
cottage cheese and sweet potato, dirty foot ass bitch you.
Loosely paper, rotten loosely paper, dirty chick. Like, for real, you gonna sit here and say a 15-year boy seduce a grown man to do that to them? You gonna say that. And they gonna tell us, sit in our face in the documentary, say that, oh, we was told misinformation. First of all, he was going to trial of SAing a teenager. That's all you need to know. That's all you had need to know.
You were at the sentencing. This wasn't even like a pre-trial, what you're trying to do. No, this is at the sentencing, asking for the judge to give leniency.
Yes, he was on trial for SAing a boy of a lot of things, forced penetration, oral, all that stuff to a teenager. And you will say you was told misinformation, and you had to write a capital. If you knew the real information, you wouldn't have wrote the letter. First of all, you should never wrote the letter in the first place. None of y'all have should know the letter in the first place when you saw he was on trial of this thing, sentencing of that, and he admitted that he did it. So what information that y'all got?
That shit was
pissed. What information y'all didn't get? You know that he was guilty of doing something to a teenage. See, that's the problem. It's like a lot of people, you would think things would be certain common sense for a lot of people, but that's why I was like, you never know people true colors when somebody you really care about do something for you. That's why people get disappointed about these celebrities. I said that's why I don't go off for these celebrities, because they will disappoint you. They will disappoint you. The way how people support people who are predators, pedophiles, it's like that. You be so disappointing. Yes. That's why I said, when I saw the Will Friedle, I said it probably didn't surprise me, because you never know. You never know.
Alan Thicke surprised the shit out of me. Ryder surprised the shit out of me. James Marsden surprised the shit out of me. Those are three white men actors that I like, especially James Marsden. One of my favorite movies is Death at a Funeral. Now I don't even want to watch that fucking movie no more. The hell with him.
Well, you never know their truth, because they're good with their craft, but you don't know their characteristic, their personality, who they are as a person, until you see it. When he wrote the characteristics, that's all I need to know. He supports that type of stuff. Because when you write letters for someone like that, in this capacity, you're complacent in that. And that means you're okay with that. That means if somebody in your family get done to that to them, you will turn a blind eye. And that's what so many people, kids, is so messed up right now, because family members turn a blind eye because they want to protect the adult, because they like the adult or whatever the adult does for them. And when they tell you, you think they lying. That's it's just mind blowing that he had all that support, and his side was only 3 people. So no support for the kid.
I cried a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Like I know But I definitely
did
did
tear up
care,
a
but I
bit.
felt the love of
Especially
my
when the father
son.
broke down.
Like,
When the father broke down, I teared up a
well,
little bit.
not only the father is just when he was saying how he didn't even address Brian. He didn't even address the court. He addressed all those people that were there supporting him. Like, you will forever remember being in here supporting a man who took advantage of me. And I will ever remember what this man did to me. And I hope every last one of them some bitches is looking and they have looked at this, and I hope they feel stupid as fuck. I hope they getting hate mail. I hope people are DMing them because they deserve that shit.
I would.
They deserve that shit.
Too much. I was like, that's ridiculous. When a child is getting and on the person who admitted it, and y'all like character witness for the person and want to backtrack now. I said, no, it's too late now. Because now you want to backtrack because you got all the backlash.
Oh yeah, Disney got something to say, baby. I'm telling you, Britney. If Britney, Amanda ever speak out, hell, not even shit. If Justin Timberlake speak out on some of the shit that was going on in Disney, baby, they had them niggas singing Jodeci. Lady, what little white boys know about Lady I Will Cry for You? Boys like 11, 12 years old. They nuts ain't even fell yet, but you got them out here singing Jodeci. Baby, I'm begging, baby. They don't know shit about that. I want to see that Disney doc. That shit gonna be a key. So, like I said, they sentenced him. He only got sentenced to, 16 months in jail and a couple of years of probation. That's about it. Let's say if Drake did pressure Brian, which he most definitely didn't. Brian, with his nasty grown ass, still took it a step further and saved that child because he's been wanting to do that shit for a long time. Exactly. He had the space and the opportunity to do it, and he did it. And that bitch, for Kimmy Sloan, maybe he was pressured to the point to where he had to give in. Girl,
I was like, wow. And then you want to say, oh, if I knew what he done, I would bet you. I said, girl,
you should have did it. I'm sorry, listen, and I'm gonna keep it.
Exactly.
$150. I'm gonna keep it a fucking stack. If a friend or whoever was to come to me and be like, "Hey, look, I got these accusations against me," or you've already pled guilty or no context or whatever to sexual assault, and you come to me, I need you to write a character letter for me, so that the judge can reduce my sentence. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it funky donkey with you. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm not saying you did it. I'm not saying you didn't do it. I'm saying I'm not gonna be involved in that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
No, and then I'm gonna look at you funny anyway.
Exactly. What you was doing. What you was doing. Uh-huh.
We should have the Aura Kelly treatment. I'm saying. And then who was this other one? They didn't even talk about him. Ezel Channel. What? This nigga, they just briefly mentioned him. He got arrested in 2005.
Yeah, of doing something to a kid. It's like that. Yeah, I guess they try to make a correlation that how production or how people are letting peas into the figure production without even do justice. It's constantly. We have Brian, then we had something else, and we had another person, 3 people in a short amount of time span in that one little area. And how they got constantly letting people in. That's why I guess it was at one point they was changing the law. That's what I'm saying. In the 90s, it was progressive. They were trying to catch up. Try to catch up and getting the laws in the right places. That's why they say now every child star needs to have a parent on set at all times. Before it wasn't like that. It was no law. It's like that. I'm not Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen is a hot, nasty ass mess. Hot dick ass. Leave his hot dick ass. Yeah.
Case story.
So let's finish this up with Jenny McCarty. Okay. And the whole iCarly thing. Okay. After he done did, what was that for real? What the white boys knew about Jodeci Cry for You. Okay, y'all need to be crying about the textbooks in school. Get up off the microphones. Joseph is an old man. Joseph is an old man. Hey, Poo Poo. That's
Hey.
you know. So he comes back and he Dan, wants to revamp up some shit. So he comes out with iCarly. That's when we meet Jenny McCarty and we meet Jenny McCurdy and Ariana Grande. Now I will say this. From the moment I seen iCarly and I heard Kat's voice, aka Ariana Grande, I never liked it. I've always thought something was weird on it. She always gave me porno vibes because her voice was very breathy and very soft and very sensual. I remember hearing that and being like, why she sound like that?
There's like squeeze up a one of potatoes. I want it all over me. Yeah, she got that airy sexual voice. Yes.
Well, I didn't watch the episode. I remember. I don't know if it was my sister or my niece or my nephew. One of them was watching that episode when she poured it on her chest. And I remember my mama saying, what is that? Oh, y'all need to turn that mess off.
It just feels so good.
And then once again, Dan being obsessed with toes. That's another thing I remember from iCarly is that she was always putting her fucking feet in her mouth. Why, Dan? Looking back on this, y'all, it's uncomfortable to watch this shit. And again, for production, the cameraman, the sound guy, the lights guy, all y'all just sit up there and nobody said nothing.
Yeah. Or they can't say nothing because they will get ridiculed and fired. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with it. It's like you saying one thing and then it was a different experience.
Yes.
It was different.
Alexa Nichols, she was a character on iCarly. She's the one that I said has the YouTube channel. Her character on there was basically like a little hoe, little fast ass bopper. She was always yes, always crazy about the boys, boy crazy. She wore little skirts, little tops, what were in bathing suits, and that was just Ariana Grande as well. Again, they had her like a mini porno star. She was
girls. Yes.
And speaking back, every episode it was always some sort of sexual innuendo when it came to Ariana Grande. It was what her mom and daddy then was, especially trying to squeeze juice from a potato. Just like, and we completely skipped over that, Pickle Boy. When Brian did the Pickle Boy thing, I remember seeing that, and I knew exactly what the hell that was when I seen it back in the day when it came on. That was a freaking glory. I remember that.
Oh, yes.
I remember saying that. He's sticking, my words exactly. Not him. He's sticking a dick pickle in there. I remember saying that. And Ray Romano holding it like this.
Yeah.
The damn pickle. Ray Romano, you knew you a grown ass goddamn comedian. Ray Romano. Yeah, I'm looking at all you bastards funny. You too, Ray. I'm looking at all you motherfuckers funny.
She could walk from side to side.
We'll judge if you display a you knew you could. That's just nasty.
Side to side.
I love this fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. So I mean, eventually over time, because like again, it was all sort of sexual innuendos, cum shots, and all of that shit. So finally, what was it? The Me Too movement started in 2017. By 2018, Nickelodeon went ahead and severed ties with Dan, nasty bastard ass. Thank God. What is he doing now? Is he doing anything right now?
I think he is doing some things, but not so much in like a kids realm. But I think I think I'm looking at somebody else. I don't know what he's doing right now. Because I know Brian is still working in some way, shape, or form in Hollywood, but not around kids stuff. But I think he's still working on some way, shape, or Hollywood. But I don't remember what Dan is doing.
Yeah, I've seen the interview. Yeah, we matter of fact, we can talk about that right now. Yeah. Follow-up interview that Dan Schneider did with old shucking and jiving ass Tebow. First of all, Tebow, the interview was done. I think that's Dan's YouTube channel, or that's somebody that's associated with Dan. That's his YouTube channel. Dan set up them questions. Yeah. Dan picked that boy, and it was very calculated. Of course, you've been accused of discrimination and shit. You probably couldn't get nobody else on your side to interview you. So you gonna get the only nigga that's gonna shuck and jive for your ass to interview you. To hell with you, goddamn Tebow. And then first the damn what is it, rebuttal tour was only like 20-30 minutes long. Okay, that should have been a 4-part series too, if you ask me.
I had a problem with that.
He didn't even get deep into the questions. Like, for example, when Tebow brought up the fact that, Dan was like, if anybody had any problems, so they could have easily just said something and nobody should have to do anything that they don't want to do. And Tebow was like, well, I'll push back a little bit on that, Dan. Some people were saying that she made it very difficult to push back. That. Oh, Dan was like, and if people felt that way, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's why I said I wanted somebody else to do it. Because I was like, first, like I was saying, I didn't like that interview because you had someone who used to work for you, who might have had a good experience from you, that they had a bad experience like other people. So you use that person, which is fine. Yeah. It's like that. But in an interview like that, when you're trying to show remorseful and accountability, you should have someone who watching this as a third party, who had no ties to you to do the interview. And you had someone who used to work for you. And the thing was only 20 minutes. And then the guy didn't push hard enough. Because when that whole question about the parents thing is, well, if somebody had a problem, it's like they could have said something. Well, I will say, people say you make it difficult. However, he could have went further and said, well, what if the parents, it was parents that did spoke out, but you fired a kid or you let them go or they got upset. Say about that. Explain to me what was in your mindset when you did that. Because if you saying this one thing, it didn't have a good experience with some of the people who were speaking up and did spoke up, and you let them go and you ostracized them and you fired a kid. So what you got to say about that? Like, he could have went harder on that, but they could have used someone else. And then somebody on my Twitter, because I said this on Twitter, that somebody said, well, they said, well, he didn't have the skills that he wasn't a journalist. I said, I don't care if he was a journalist or not. So they could have used someone else who wasn't part of this to do the interview, because this ain't doing him none justice. Because people will ridicule him more for this interview.
Shit, you could have got one of us to interview your bitch ass, Dan.
Oh, well, I didn't like that at all. That interview was waste of time and didn't do him any justice. Because he kept saying, he said, oh yeah, I apologize. This has happened to you. People are saying something. I wish you could take it back. If I would take it back, I would do it differently. I said, okay, you try and say all the right things to make people feel like you are sorry. But are you really sorry?
Thank you. How sorry are you, Dan?
Yes. And there's another thing.
That part.
How do you feel about Angela Messi when she got on line? Now, I will say this. She said blame the parents. Yeah, there were some parents that was to blame. However, would she lose me when she said just blame the parents and not Dan? I said, because maybe you didn't have a bad experience, but it seemed like your kids is like, don't speak for me because I have to talk about it myself. Don't speak for me. So that's one thing. And I'll say, yes, some parents is to blame, but then it's to blame because if he was this person, like everybody, the documentary made it seem he was a point person, and I do believe he was this all-powerful person in this set that he made the company money, and the company backed him for everything he was doing. So that's why he had no pushback when the script was going through and stuff like that, because he was this powerful person and nobody spoke up. So I was like, for you to say he was not responsible when he's supposed to be the one who set the tone and only the parents, no, both of them need to be responsible because he's supposed to be responsible for all these kids' safety and well-being, and also make the safety connection for the parents to speak up to make sure it's better. But no, he was just responsible for the parents. For you to get in your high horse and act like we was messing up and we was wrong coming at you, good F out of here.
I felt like she should have just sat down and drank her fucking tea. You should have sat this one out, mama. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she should have.
And for your son to backdoor and put up his own post and say, my story to tell is my story. Not a parent, not a producer, not a friend, not nobody else. My story. which makes me believe that, Mama, maybe you had this experience, but Chris probably had a little bit of a different experience. Now, whether it's because it's both of them, whether it's Chris or Kyle, one of them, you speaking for both of them, and they kind of like, hold on, I don't think I need you to speak for me just yet, Mama. She pissed me off. She pissed me off. I could hope. I could hop through the screen and fault her. Okay. So I felt like the mama should have shut up and minded her business. If somebody came and asked you your opinion about how your experience was, okay, that's great. But for you to be up in here, Captain Save a Hole, for this nigga, girl,
exactly.
did he pay you too? Because we already know he paid Tebow. Okay, Tebow got paid to do this interview. Tebow didn't do this just because he loves Dan. No, you didn't. Dan hit your ass up and offered you some money to run interference to make him not look so bad. And that's why you did that interview. You didn't do that shit out the goodness of your goddamn heart. Go to hell. Now, Massey, girl, I'm sorry, but she should have just shut the hell up and sat this one.
And I'm sorry, Lay. Was your kids, the both sons you have, was in trouble in some way, shape, or form?
Come on now.
In what way? Because people had to remind me online that your kids was troubled, and they did something too. So you sit here and act like your kids was all good. And also, I don't like when people say if they had a good experience, that's fine. That the other people experience,
that's great, good for you.
It's messed up, and they should not speak. I said, first of all, if you had your good experience, that's fine. But does not deny that the other people had a bad experience with the same person. That's why women, like, they try to say, oh, well, he didn't do that to me. But I say he did this to another person that could happen to you. So it's like, don't ignore the experience. What that person did is what that person did.
And then not only that, I mean, let's keep it real. He obviously wasn't his type. Just because that didn't happen to him, he could not have been his flavor that he wanted. I'm sorry, I mean, no shade, but he could he obviously that's not who he wanted. Okay. So your experience is your experience. That's great. And yeah, Josh Peck, him and Drake had issues or whatnot, and Josh had put up this post on TikTok, it was like a year ago or something, and everybody thought that maybe he was shooting digs at Drake. But Drake has since the documentary came out, everybody done went to Josh Peck and basically like blowing up. I'm talking about.
Why you ain't speaking up? Why you ain't saying that? Why?
Okay. And so Drake had to come out and do another statement. It's like, yes, Josh has reached out to me. We have talked. So take it easy on him. No, fuck that. No. And that's another thing that irritates me. I'm sorry, as a public servant, my goddamn self, okay? Don't come and tell me that I need to not feel a certain way about a motherfucker that did you dirty. I want to feel this way, and if I want to go off on him, goddamn it, I'm gonna do that. Don't take it easy on him. For what? For what?
Josh, somebody else. No, it was Josh Peck. It was Josh Peck, Dominique. People was coming after Josh because
Josh Peck.
Mm-hmm. Josh Peck and Drake and Josh did the show together.
Mm-hmm.
And when Drake spoke his piece and say whatever, when we're now seeing what was happening to him in recent time, people say that Josh Peck was silent and he say nothing. Especially if they did a show together, he would probably know what was going on and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So people coming at them now. At the end of the day, I don't think they should. Maybe, but I also understand why people came at them because, like, listen, y'all was doing the show together, so you didn't know, you didn't support him, like you didn't say nothing, like what was going on. So he had to let people know that yes, he did reach out and everything, and Josh Peck said the eggs like that. Because I said, would Josh Peck would ever reach out if people ain't counted him in a
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because if I would have heard that, I don't need nobody coming to my DMs. I said, no, I would have go reach out. I said, well, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me. I would have been there for you. And because I was a kid of myself too. So if I hear it now, I would have reached out. I said, oh my gosh, why you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if he was laughing at him per se. I don't know.
Now I don't think it was us. It was a group of people that was on TikTok and one black person is like that. Because I saw this was laughing about the situation and they said, "Oh no, it's not funny." It was. I said, "Was you making fun of it?" It was people on TikTok. I wish it was Josh, but I think it was some people that was connected back then,
It was Josh.
and I think that was laughing at the situation. But I don't know if it was him, but it was other people that was talking about it who was kids at that time. Yeah, Ned something.
Yes, that's what it was. Yep. Ned's Declassified. Yeah, it was a guy that was from on there, basically making some kind of little joke or whatnot. Was laughing at him. Yeah, but I mean, shit, they eating their goddamn words now. They better hope that nobody run over to their inbox and start blowing their shit up. Cause yeah, they damn sure got in Josh's ass. And you right, had people not got on his ass, had this documentary not came out, he wouldn't have said anything. Because I mean, I'm sure as they were filming that documentary, nobody knew that it was Drake. Hell, nothing. We didn't know until he popped up on the screen. It was him. I was Drake.
I don't know.
I care. I don't know that man. I feel so sorry.
I know what you're talking about. Who?
So, like I said, Nickelodeon ended up paying Dan Schneider $7 million to part ways. So, nigga still he still got off scot free and a couple millies in his pocket.
Chase the locks.
Changed the lock on him, and he got away with a couple millies.
Nobody know. Yeah, nobody know. Because I guess they kept it hidden until I guess he was ready to speak. It's like that, and that's why it was changing the laws. But we did forget to talk about how Brian got hired after he got out. Yes, so he only got 16 months, and then he got out. He was working in Disney. Like Zach and Cody, and the two people, Rich and Well, was part of that, and they brought him over there. And
Richard and Beth Carell.
Disney asked him, said, "How's it going on with the case?" He said, "Oh, it's all settled." They didn't further investigate that. They let him on the set, and when they find out that he was on registry or something like that, then they let them go. But I would say, first of all, why you didn't do that in the first place? Why is we hiring somebody so quickly, especially you working with the kids? Now they told him that he cannot work directly with the kids, but he could still work on production set. I said, hell no, he should not work nowhere period with kids.
But this is this is my thing. So Richard and Beth Carell, they wrote character letters for him for his sentencing, right? So then they gonna backdoor and basically they lied because when it came to hiring him or whatnot, they said that they asked him, "Did you take care of whatever situation or like what happened? Did you take care of whatever?" He was like, "Oh, the situation it was already taken care of."
Yep.
You bitches try to act dumb like you didn't know what was going on, but you all wrote character letters for him.
Yep.
You wrote those letters. And then once he got out of prison, you hired him to work.
Yep. And they're trying to say, "Oh, we wasn't a part of hiring." I said, y'all love saying that y'all was a part of hiring, y'all was a part of paying, y'all was a part of none of that. At the end of the day, y'all was part of something.
That's Liver of Life.
That's Liver of Life, Brittany.
Liver of Life just changed his name, child. He's trying to elevate.
It's like that. So,
drama.
That's why he was able to work with Disney. And I said, that's messed up. I said, y'all need to change these laws. Y'all need to really get strict with these ladies. It should be no reason that someone who has been on a registry for SA and a kid should be working anywhere parts of production anyway with kids at all.
Point blank.
At all.
Where is Brian now? I don't know. But he's registered.
I know he's still working with Hollywood somewhere to perform because I think he just needs to do something. But I don't know if he worked with kids, but he is still working. And I said, go figure.
Yeah. I heard there's supposed to be a part, like there's supposed to be like a part 2 or some more that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know how
I would say who else got to come out forward? Is Kenan Kel going to speak? I mean, is somebody else going to speak?
I doubt if Kenan and Kel speak, especially Kel, because Kel got a good relationship with Dan. So I don't.
He won't say nothing. So Amanda's not speaking up, so we can't hear from them. Amanda, Jeanette's coming back. So who is going to come out and do more of this? And why are you put it together?
Unless it's Ariana. That would be good.
Chad, Ariana's a lost case right now because she just did what if she did with her husband, ex-husband right now, went to somebody else. You know, I don't know what the hell's going on with this girl. She's a lost case.
I want to know what you think about it, because that's the one person that ain't a goddamn thing. Well, I'm telling you, that bitch is everybody on mute.
Yes.
She ain't said nothing. Not a tweet, not a Twitter, not a Igga, not a faces, not a nothing.
No, I ain't seen nobody on her page. No, I ain't seen none of that. I don't know what she did. Y'all know the way from that. So Waylon, she said always over with Disney. I believe most of them will be over now.
She had, what was I watching? And she had said that. Maybe it was on TikTok. I was watching something, and it was a bunch of stars like that, Disney and Nickelodeon, something to that, saying like, you know, I've waited this time, like the contract is up, and this was a while back, and then I heard the Nickelodeon documentary, so I thought that this is what everybody was talking about. But the same thing, the girl from That's So Raven, she recently said that her contract is up with Disney. I want to hear what she got to say, because even Raven Simone, I don't see Raven. Even though Raven don't give a fuck, Raven don't give a fuck. If somebody's on,
I remember she probably would speak every day with her contract and stuff, because they did her wrong too. They did Raven wrong. A lot of people. And then Orlando Brown, you know, he was from Disney and he got messed up. And I feel like he had done a lot of wrong. And yes, I know people realize that he's not in the head, but I said it stems from this childhood. It stems from being respected from Disney. It's from that. He didn't get to like this way from that. Like, so at the same time, he deserves some of the same grace as everybody else who's speaking of, like Drake and everybody else, because he have a story to tell too. And it's like,
people think Orlando crazy. Orlando got a story, and I believe half the shit he say, even though he be rambling on, and not just because I work with addicts, and I know half of the shit be crazy as hell, but it'd be a whole lot of truth to the crazy shit they saying. Don't count Orlando out.
Yes.
He don't care. I highly doubt it. But what if they got to do a part 2 of the series and actually got Amanda Bynes to appear in it? The popcorn would have been popped.
Amanda Bynes
would have been cracking open. So
he spoke, it would be like the internet.
It would be really interesting. A Disney doc would be really good. Really good. I'm telling you, I want to know what Brittany got to say. I want to know what Justin got to say. I want to know.
Christina, it was a lot of people, but Christina, I don't know about it. Christina was a lot of people from Disney. With Jenna, what she was? No, she was all that.
Who?
I said Jennifer Lopez. Was she a dancer?
Jennifer Lopez?
Oh, no, never mind. She was doing something else. Never mind. I was thinking
about Living Color.
Living Color. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I was mixing everything up.
Oh, J-Ho. It was somebody else.
I know Christina was on Disney. It was a lot of cases that we've seen that was on Disney.
It was a lot of them. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but yeah, a Disney doc would be off the chain. I want to see that, but y'all already know if it is a part 2, we sure gonna be here to talk about it, because this documentary was very much so good. It was very eye-opening, and I ain't gonna lie, it ruined a lot of my memories from Nickelodeon.
It definitely did. It definitely did. And the fact that they still showing the shows. And I said, I don't know how many people are still watching the shows of us our age is still watching it now. No, we not like watching it.
It's the kids that's watching it now.
The kids watching it now, but I said, Chad, is it really still that popular? Because I don't even know no kids still talk about Nickelodeon. I want to see Nickelodeon. No. I don't see no kids want to say they would still see Nickelodeon. Chad, it must have lost cause right now.
Kids is in the Cartoon Network now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Shia LaBeouf. Because you know that nigga crazy too. I bet he done been through some. It's a new episode coming out. I forgot the date.
I would check.
It's supposed to be too, but I don't know how. I don't know if that was just a TikTok rumor that I heard, or if it's for real, for real. But like I said, if they do got some more episodes coming out, we will definitely be here to talk about it, because this was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was damn so good. Y'all already know what to do. If it was anything that we missed, y'all be sure to drop it down in the comments and we can continue the discussion. Y'all make sure to give us a thumbs up, share us out. I've always been into Disney. I was, like I said, I was a Nickelodeon girl up until I aged out of it. Right, literally, right when the Keenan and Kel era hit, that's when I was out. Because they were goofy to me. Keenan and Kel were not funny to me. They were just goofy. And I like that goofy shit. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate y'all coming through. This was the documentary Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. And yeah, if there's any other episodes that come out, please know that we will be here. Okay. Tomorrow, me and Jana will have our review up for Freaknik the Freaknik, the wildest party never told. Okay. I like the documentary. If you are not subscribed to Mizzle's channel, please do so. Okay. You can follow him on his IG channel. I'm sorry, his YouTube is Mizzle14. You can follow him on his IG, his Twitter, and his Discord. His Discord be popping, y'all. Conversations is always popping over there, okay? If you want to follow your girl, ITMomo_512. It's like that on the IG, the Twitter, and the TikTok. There's a Cash App if you feel so inclined to donate to the channel. We highly appreciate you guys. Mizzle, you got anything before we get on up out of here, poo-poo?
Okay, yeah. So if those of you know, I have a membership on my channel now. You can join the Mizzy exclusive, $2.99. You can join the membership and you get some certain perks. So my Freaknik documentary is already up for members. And then people who's not a member for the Mizzy exclusive will get it on Thursday. So y'all will get the Freaknik documentary on Thursday. And I did a Mizzy Social Corner today. It's only a member exclusive on video, so you will not get to see it unless you are a member. It's like that. But you know, continuing doing watch alongs, we will do the listening party for Beyonce album this Thursday night, late Thursday night, early Friday morning in Discord, and I will do a deep dive of that album to talk about it and make a review. It will be all for all members. And Sunday I won't be alive because I'm going Easter Sunday and we with family. But yeah, it will be there, and I do have to watch Summer House Martha's Vineyard to give you a review of that. I decided to do it again. I decided to do it like that. And I give you a review as like that. If it's good, I will give you a review. If not, that's
some of the same ones are on there.
Yeah, most of the same people. Most of the same people. They got some new people there. But yeah, stay tuned for any other updated shows. I might give you something else for this week before Sunday morning. I'll probably do a late Saturday night live to give y'all some content so it can hold y'all over for Sunday. So until I come back again. But yeah, that's it. I have on my channel. So I do have a membership, but you still can subscribe to my channel for any free stuff y'all want to do if y'all want to join. But the membership has different perks. Yes.
Congrats. You appreciate everybody for stopping by. Thank you, Joseph. What did we see? Dominique, Jay, Britt, Alec. We seen a couple of folks up in here. Of course, my good sis Jay. Okay, love you too, poo-poo. And anybody that we missed, thank you so much for you guys coming through, chilling with us. Hopefully, you enjoyed the review. And like I said, anything that we missed, drop it down in the comments, and we will continue the conversation from there. Okay. We appreciate y'all so much, and we will see you guys next time. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye.